Yeah, it was a lot of fun today. Hitting the driver, I was hitting it well, and was pleased with how I was hitting it. So, drove it well. I'm going to watch Jon with his putt. That guy's been playing unbelievable this year, and last year. I mean,
So
this guy.
have you.
I don't know how he just continues to do it. Unbelievable. 7 under. Yeah, I mean, look, golf course is gettable, but it's diabolical as well. There was a lot of moments where I felt like I was going to get it to 9, 10 under, and there was moments where I'm like, man, I could be 3 under, 2 under easily if I don't get my act in shape. So it's a teeter-totter golf course. It's, you know, you can hit a drive down by the green, but it depends on the lie, depends on the flag, and depends on if you can make some 6, 7 footers out here. So it was a grindy round, a lot of fun. You know, felt like I gave a good performance out there today.
Given the altitude, everyone's been wanting to talk to you this week about how far that ball is flying and how
Flying
you're
far.
managing distance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple tight driving holes out here, number 10 being one of them. You know, but I can get it up by the green, hit it over the green, didn't make birdie on that hole. But for the most part, I took advantage of the driver and got up and down. 10, well, no, that's the 11th hole. I always get messed up with that. The 11th hole and the 13th hole. I didn't get up and down on those holes, but made a great par save on the par 3 after that, and on 14. And, you know, felt like I kept it together pretty well besides the 3-putt on 15. That was disappointing wedge shot. But all in all, it was fun hitting it far. Well, it's the first hole. The first hole was amazing. That was a lot of fun.
Every time I looked at the TV today, I saw you engaging with the fans out there, giving them high fives. How much do you love the Mexican fans?
Oh, they're amazing people. They encouraging, loving, just want to support you and want to cheer you on and shout your name really, really loud.
All right, we'll open it up to media. Anyone have questions for Bryson? Raise your hand. There.
Yeah, Bryson, great day.
Thank you.
We knew you coming here because of the attitude that be aggressive, of course. Does the strategy changes right now that we're competing?
It's going to be wind situation dependent, but for me, I don't feel like my strategy is going to change too much if I'm hitting the driver really well.
A ver, Fernando.
Did you feel the course very different from when you were here with WGC to this time? Well, the holes change a lot, the numbers. So did you feel anything different?
Well, I'm definitely hitting it a little bit farther than when I was here for the few times I was here. Patrick Reed beat me one year. I think I was hitting it pretty far then, but for the most part, it's relatively the same. There's a couple parts where it's a little softer, but I'm sure as the weekend comes, it's going to get really firm and fast. We already felt it. That back of the green on 18 there is super firm. You know, and then I flew it over the green, but it's super firm. Watching Jon Rahm land it short and know that it's going to bounce up there. His caddy was doing something that he knew about. But it's going to get firm and fast out here and be a lot of fun this weekend.
It's not much to say, really, to be honest. It was all pretty clean and tidy. A few more fairways today. A lot more approach shots kind of closer to the hole. Made a ton of birdies, and it all seemed very easy today. But as I know and everyone else knows in the field and in this room, golf is not an easy game. So looking forward to a challenging weekend.
Looking at the scorecards for all of you guys today, it was like a birdie fest out there. Is this golf course just designed for you guys to make birdies?
Yeah, I think it's just a touch shorter, and given the format, I think you have to go out there and hit driver and kind of be aggressive, and you have to make a lot of birdies because there's a few spots around here where you're going to make a bogey, and it's going to be tough. So it's very tricky, but if you get the ball in the right spot, generally you have a good look at birdie.
It's a major championship leaderboard. We've got DeChambeau, Smith, Rahm, Watson, Neiman, all up there. What do you got to do this weekend to get it done and get ahead of the pack?
Play good. Yeah, there's some quality players out here, and it's very difficult to win every week. I've put myself in a really good spot after round one, and hopefully I can go out there over the weekend and give it my all and hopefully walk away with a trophy.
Last one from me. Rippers are sitting on top again. You guys are currently sitting at 15 under, tied for Crushers at 15 under. What is the magic with this team? You guys just play so consistently well. You guys obviously won in Miami. You're always at the top of the leaderboard. Tell us what the secret sauce is.
I don't know. Good captain, I think, really helps. No, I think we've all worked really hard in the off season. We got off to a bit of a slow start, which was a bit of a bummer, really. We didn't really think that was going to happen. We were all pretty confident at the start of the season, so I think getting off to a bit of a slow start was maybe a good thing, and just kept up the hard work and trusting the process. And winning at a place like Doral in those conditions is a pretty good sign of a good team. So, we kind of just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Love to see you up there. Open it up to questions from the media. Raise your hand. We'll bring you a mic.
¿Alguien quiere hacer alguna pregunta? Si es en español la puedo traducir y si no en inglés la pueden hacer directo. Ahí viene atrás el micrófono.
Thank you. Hi, Cameron. How can you describe the round? Very fought with your partners, and how can you describe the field so far? The altitude, the climate. How do you feel for you?
It feels pretty good. I think doing a bit of work at the start of the week and really dialing in your distances was pretty key. The full shots, I think you can get a really good idea of how far they're going to go. It's the ones where you're trying to knock it down into the wind or take something off it that they kind of vary a bit just with spin. Those have been by far the tougher shots out here. But like I said, I mean, we had a lot of really good numbers today and a lot of really full swings, and was just able to commit to kind of what we were doing. So hopefully we can keep putting ourselves in those spots.
Okay, time for one more.
Hello, this side. What do you expect from yourself after completing the 14 season events?
What do I expect after the 14?
The full season, after completing the full season.
I mean, I've left myself a lot of work to do to try and win the championship. I think I've probably left myself a little bit too much work, to be honest. So I've had to readjust some goals. I think if I can just keep doing what I'm doing, I've always been kind of a process type of person, really trying to tick the boxes. And although the results haven't really been there the last few months, I really feel like I've put in some really good work, and the game's in a really good spot and heading in a really good spot. So hopefully we can just steadily climb that championship ladder there and get up as high as we can. That's the goal.
It was a slow start, definitely. I think I was 2 over after 2, and then it was just a fight after there. I felt like I did a good job because I actually did not put myself in good positions after those 2 bogeys, and I kept it somehow, and then I started playing some good golf and finished strong. So I'm really happy the way I played today.
How did you feel out there with all the love from all your fellow Mexicans?
It's awesome. I mean, it's hard because they're all screaming and saying my name, but I really have to stay in the moment. So it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's just I feel bad sometimes not even to shake everybody's hands or just say hi to everybody that screams my name, but I really enjoyed it.
Great. We're going to open it up to the media in Spanish. Go ahead.
Hola, Carlos, de Tea Time Clever. ¿Cómo te juega el ser local? ¿Cómo el apoyo, la presión un poquito a tu favor y un poquito explícanos del juego corto? O sea, ¿qué tanto jugar de casa mete presión y qué es lo más difícil del juego? ¿Largo, approach o putt?
Pues yo no diría presión, es más como un compromiso, hay que jugar, está aquí la gente viene a ver y todo, pero no lo veo como presión, yo lo veo más como una motivación. Y del juego, pues un poquito de todo, la verdad es que la bola vuela mucho aquí, entonces hay que adaptarse a las yardas, pero creo que hicimos un buen trabajo ahí con Mike y mi caddy y la verdad me quedo contento con el resultado de hoy.
¿Qué tal, Carlos? Buenas tardes por acá. Empiezas con 2 bogeys, los primeros 2 hoyos, pero te recuperas muy bien en la segunda mitad del campo. Platícanos si te fuiste acomodando conforme pasaron los hoyos y sobre todo el sentir el apoyo de la gente, ¿no? Que tanto a ti como a Abraham se les entregaron bastante.
Sí, no, increíble la gente, la verdad, como te digo, hasta me siento mal no poder haber dado la mano a toda la gente que me ponía la mano cuando pasaba, ni voltear a toda la gente que gritaba mi nombre, pero feliz de estar aquí y sí, fue un comienzo medio lento, pero bueno, así pasa, la verdad que estoy jugando bien y era nomás tener paciencia y bueno, ya ves, estamos aquí, regresamos la ronda donde se debía y no nos salimos del torneo, que es lo importante.
Tenemos time for one more.
Abraham.
Carlos, Bryson dijo que el campo podría ser accesible, pero también tiene su parte diabólica. ¿Para ti qué sería lo más diabólico de este campo?
No, es que la verdad es raro, porque si pegas buenos tees de salida, es accesible, pero hay que pegarlos, son tees retadores, y luego la verdad es que los greens también tienen su chiste, son pots, te caen pots de prende muy rápidos, muy comprometidos en los primeros hoyos. Me costó un poquito de trabajo, pero bueno, es parte creo que todos estamos en el mismo campo, pero la verdad es que lo siento que lo tienen muy buenas condiciones. Felicidades aquí al Chapultepec y a todo su staff, que yo creo que siento que está hasta mejores que el WGC cuando jugamos. Estos greens están rodando increíble y muy buenas condiciones.
Thank you. Likewise to Bryson, because clearly he's had a few good weeks and continues today. And yeah, he's right. I've been fairly comfortable the last few weeks playing really good golf, and I'm glad today was one of those days where I finally started the tournament in a little bit of with a better round, and what a better way to start it at 3 birdies in a row. I kind of just set the tone and felt really comfortable on the greens all day, and I mean, couldn't really have asked for a much better score.
Bubba, you're currently sitting at fourth place. You shot 5 under. You had an incredible run at Augusta. You're playing great right now. What's going on with your game? What's this fire you got underneath you?
Good. That's the key. I think I was number 1 in putting at the Masters, strokes gained putting. And so I had a couple wayward shots, 4 swings that I could think about at the Masters. And today, a couple loose swings, but the ball kind of does different in elevation here. But I putted really well today. So that's the key, is just keep putting well.
You guys are both long hitters. Tell us how you guys are dealing with the elevation here and ball control and distance.
I think both of us have played the WGC here before, so to an extent we knew what to expect, right? I think it was a little tougher a few years ago because with the tee times, if you teed off early, there was a difference as to teeing off later on, so you had to adjust to that. Now teeing off in the afternoon, I think everybody just goes with the base percentage. Off the tee, for the most part, you have to just place it on the right spot in the fairway. There's a couple of holes where luckily if you have the distance, you can be aggressive. Second hole being one of them where if you have the distance, get into the green, I mean, or at least going for that green makes it a lot easier because the layup isn't easy. The wedge shot is never easy, right? So for the most part, length isn't an issue off the tee. So if you're comfortable with the driver, it's great. And if not, you can still lay it back a little bit and still have a good chance of scoring well on the hole. So it gives you options. It's a really fun golf course.
Bubba, how are you managing distance control out there?
For me, it's more the curving the golf ball. The ball doesn't curve as much. And so it's just...
That is an issue for you, isn't it?
Yes. It is. It's a big issue for me. It's an issue for me for sure because my sight lines. So I want to aim it right. So I've had to aim it a little bit more to the center of the fairway. And like you said, I've played here 4 times leading into this week. So this is my 5th time here. So I kind of know what to expect around here. The greens are starting to firm up. So the golf course is going to get a little firmer over the weekend. And, you just kind of get used to elevation and you see the numbers on the range and then you just kind of get used to it as you play. So you kind of get used to the elevation and how far the ball is actually going.
The Mexican fans are so hospitable. It looks like so much fun out there. Can you guys just talk a little bit about the fan experience? We'll start with you, Bubba.
Yeah, it's been great. I've seen some Range Goats hats out there, and I had a bunch of kids when I got done. Got to sign some stuff for them, and yeah, it's great. It's always great when they're here and they're pulling for you, and anytime they're yelling your name, you're doing something right. And so it's been fun, and it's always been exciting around here. They love their sports, and so I'm glad they come out to watch us play golf and watch some of these guys hit it pretty far.
John, do they treat you like an honorary Mexican out here?
Yeah. As a Mexican Open champion, they let me know. I do feel like I'm one more, even though playing with Carlos, I'm not quite on the same level, obviously, but the crowd was heavily for me as well. It's a lot of fun to play in front of fans like this. I would say anytime where European football is a main sport in that country, the fans almost treat golf as if they're watching that. At least when I'm in the group, mainly because they're used to and they're comfortable saying it in Spanish, and it's a bit more exciting just because where you might make a 6-footer that in other places just get, a little bit of a lazy clap, you'll get 3 or 4 guys that think you just scored a goal, and it's absolutely incredible. So it's a lot of fun to be a part of, even when we're here right next to the 18th hole, getting ready for my putt as if it would be in a stadium. There's people yelling, right? Like if it was a corner shot or a penalty, they're just actually cheering for me. Is something you're not used to, but it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
So I'm going to open it up to questions in English first for Bubba before we let him go. Any questions in English for Bubba?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Hi, Bubba. This is Isaac from Tea Time Clever. What's better, chasing the lead or being under pressure or getting ahead? So what's your thoughts on maybe chasing those steps behind?
I'd rather be leading because then I don't have to make as many birdies to stay in the lead. It just depends. A golf course like this, it might be better to chase, but I'd rather be leading. I mean, I think any golfer wants to be leading because you can make a mistake and still be leading.
Anything else in English before one more in English?
Hi, Bubba. How can you describe the energy of the crowd today here in Chapultepec, and how do you feel the field, the holes? What was the most difficult part for you here in the Club de Golf?
The difficult part is just seeing my sight lines and trying to get the ball to go where I want it to. But the fans here have been great. It's been amazing. It's always been amazing around here. Like Jon was saying, the energy. When you hit a good shot, they're cheering for you. They're pulling for you. They're always telling you, let's go, keep going. And it's always fun. And, they're supportive. Even if you make a bogey, they're still supportive, going, get them next hole. And so it's always a blast. And seeing all the young kids out here this week, it's great. That means the game is good here in Mexico. And hopefully these kids will be here. We'll be cheering them on later on, a few years from now.
Bubba, thank you so much. We'll let you go, and we'll switch to Spanish.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Oh, stay there.
Ok, vamos ahora a preguntas en español a Abraham.
Jon, Bryson acaba de decir que el campo es accesible, pero también es diabólico. ¿Qué es lo más diabólico que tiene este campo?
Yo creo que depende de cada hoyo, ¿no? En sí es una combinación entre acostumbrarse un poco a la altura, ¿no? Porque hay momentos que aún se puede fallar, pero mayormente los greens. Hay tantas ondulaciones, tantos huecos pequeños donde pueden poner la bandera, que hace que sea muy complicado, ¿no? Un gran ejemplo, la del hoyo 10. Es una bandera muy difícil de dejarla cerca, en la que incluso desde 70 yardas, si tienes 20 pies, es un golpe bastante bueno, ¿no? Que eso normalmente sería algo muy malo. Yo considero que si son agresivos con las banderas y las ponen en zonas complicadas, haces que este campo y el score sea mucho más difícil. ¿Qué, perdón? Es complicado compararlo. Simplemente es muy complicado. A ver, en general tienes que pensar en campos que sean estrechos y no tengan mucha distancia, ¿no? A ver, digamos que igual la tarjeta dice que tiene larga distancia, pero se juega corto. Campo tradicional, yo diría, es diferente porque este campo que voy a decir es muy, muy plano, pero Hilton Head, ¿no? Que no se pegan drivers, que hay que ponerla en el fairway, pero en la zona adecuada, y hay que saber cuándo ser agresivo y cuándo no, con greens pequeños no. No tan exacto, pero parecido. Es un campo en el que te da muchas opciones y simplemente hay que saber cuándo puede ser agresivo y cuándo no.
Por acá, Jon, ¿qué tal? Fernando Villa de ESPN. Saliéndonos tal vez un poquito de la ronda, yo quiero preguntarte cómo fue para ti jugar con Josh Allen y qué pudiste aprender sobre todo del MVP de la NFL, o sea, la mentalidad. ¿Cómo describirías a Josh y cómo fue ese feel para ti? ¿Cuál es la mentalidad que tiene Josh Allen?
A ver, es complicado explicar o decir nada porque estábamos jugando a golf, no a fútbol, ¿no? Así que él está en un ambiente que él no conoce, nervioso y, bueno, pues pidiéndome consejo en ese sentido, ¿no? Y qué hace en el campo de golf, pero es un gran atleta y un gran jugador de golf, y si has visto los vídeos lo hace muy muy bien, ¿no? Obviamente igual hay golpes más fáciles y más difíciles, pero lo que noto con muchos atletas de élite que aún están en la élite o han estado en la élite en diferentes deportes es que digamos que tiene una fortaleza mental que lo que hace que el golf sea complicado en ciertos momentos, como ves en el vídeo, los putts de 10 pies o menos los mete casi todos, y eso lo he visto con muchos atletas, son increíbles en momentos delicados y de presión, y es, bueno, yo creo que es algo que se transfiere, ¿no?, entre deportes. Están acostumbrados a tener tanta presión en su deporte en cada jugada que hay momentos como esos que para él son fáciles, ¿no? Igual partes del juego que es más dedicarle horas de trabajo para mejorar, pero la parte mental la tiene, y luego como persona es increíble, muy divertido, muy calmado. Te puedes creer que nos conocimos 2 horas antes de jugar, no lo había conocido nunca, lo único que sabía es teníamos un grupo de mensajes con Phil, con Grant y con él, y lo único que sabía de él es a través de esos mensajes, en persona no lo había visto nunca.
Tenemos 2 últimas preguntas, adelante.
Acá. John, ¿qué esperas de ti al terminar los 14 eventos de la temporada, de la gira?
Llevamos 6 ya, ¿verdad? Nos quedan 8. Si es posible, repetir como el año pasado y ganarlo todo. Y a ver si es posible ganar un par de veces o más, ¿no? Estoy jugando bien, me estoy dando oportunidades, así que a ver si puedo conseguir un par de victorias y individualmente conseguir la victoria también. Pero considero que tenemos un gran equipo. No he visto mucho, pero creo que uno de ellos hoy no ha jugado muy bien, pero es un gran talento y tenemos muy buenas opciones de poder ganar ese título final, así que un poco todo.
Última pregunta.
Hola John, buena tarde. Por acá Alberto Campos de Grupo Fórmula. Preguntarte qué representa para ti venir a México, donde ya hace algunos años ganaste. ¿Qué representa para ti también el apoyo de la afición mexicana?
Lo hemos dicho en inglés, pero soy casi como un adoptado esta semana, ¿no? Se me trata casi como si fuese mexicano. Obviamente jugando con Carlos no tanto, porque siendo el local, pero siempre se me ha tratado muy bien, siempre se me ha querido mucho en México y es una de las grandes razones por la que sigo volviendo. Ya sea el LIV, ya sea el Campeonato del Mundo, o ya sea Mayaková cuando era el PGA Tour, o en Vidante el Open de México, ¿no? Siempre ha sido muy divertido para mí. Y la experiencia siempre es muy muy buena y por eso sigo viniendo y ojalá vengamos aquí durante muchos años porque la afición mexicana para mí es especial, se nos trata muy bien y es muy divertida y bueno, a ver si sigo jugando bien y a ver si consigo ganar otra vez.